Well, we had a two-part objective. One was to do what we did today, which was meet with our senior cabinet and our deans and our key enrollment task force individuals to talk about what we think are the key conundrums to our enrollment situation. And as we discussed today, we have ample headcount. We do very well online. We're doing quite well in some aspects of on-campus. But our FTE generation was not as strong as we want it to be or we think it should be. So we wanted to dig down, to drill down and look at those pieces and parts that would come together. And we did that today, and I think we did it successfully.
I think the reason that I chose Longmire and Company and thought it was a great fit for Northern State University is I like the style. I like the fact that they listen to what our needs are, really know our university, have a good broad base of working with larger institutions, smaller institutions, and I never felt pressured for a particular product. I always feel that it's a conversational kind of a thing. What are your needs? Here's what I'm hearing. Here's what we can do to help you. Here's what we're not, but here's what we can be.
I think framing the fundamental is what I heard over and over. What is the fundamental draw for Northern that would not be something you see at every other campus? I think the example of we're small, we're pretty, we're friendly is too generic. And I think people were impressed with what are some of your unusual deliverables? What are some unique entities that others don't have? And I think the entire group enjoyed that.
And as we sat and identified what makes us unique, we find that a lot of schools are saying the same things we are. How are we serving the students? How can I make this a better experience for the student? Not just what is my department doing or what's that department doing, but what am I as an individual doing? Because sometimes just one person with that idea can make a difference. And what I found with this workshop is we really felt that we were all empowered. As I worked with my staff and I watched my staff, I could see each one of them felt that they were contributing and have an idea and want to be part of a solution. Even when we were working with the senior cabinet, you had deans at the end saying, now what? Now what can I do? What can we do as a department? How do we move this initiative forward? So if nothing else, it really re-energized us and helped us to examine ourselves and say, we've got some really good things going on, but how can we make it even better?
I think the nicest testimonial came at the end when our Dean of Education said, all right, now, who's going to marshal this forward? Because many times, not only here, but in the prior 5 institutions where I've worked, you bring in a dog and pony show and the dog and the pony leaves and nothing happens. And you could see, I think, from the group today, particularly by our education dean's question, who's going to carry this forward? Who's going to keep our momentum going? And I thought that was a very positive and telling final question for the group.
I was very fortunate at the cabinet level to have a president recognizing that enrollment management and admissions really is a campus-wide initiative and was supportive of that. And that's why we turned to Longmire and Company, because really gave us some practical advice, discussion. It wasn't just telling us and feeding us information, it's allowing us to have dialogue and really examine ourselves and how do we take what we've identified within those 2 days and keep that momentum going.
I would encourage people to think outside the box. The opposite of cookie cutter, I think, is what Longmire and Company brought to us today, is there is no one formula. You have to decide as a team, what are your unique features? What are your unique characteristics? And I would encourage people to think in that direction with that kind of methodology. And I think we're going to make good progress from what we did today.
Sometimes I think enrollment management people feel that bringing someone in from the outside might be perceived as, I don't need the help, or is that something I'm not doing right, or I can't do it. Don't look at that at all. Almost look like it as a vitamin boost for you. It's energizing when you bring someone else in to validate what you're doing and also to come in and just kind of do a little mini audit of what's going on in your horizon. Could we do this better? Or sharing experiences from other schools. There's a lot of power when you're sharing and networking ideas, and that's what I appreciate about Longmire and Company, is that they use their expertise, but also the expertise within their network. And I hope they're using things they learned from Northern State University staff too, because there are some things we feel we're doing right as well.